After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 486. Today is Monday, January 4th, 2022. Yes, 2022, as we are recording. My name is Marlecia, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
I want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad that you found us, and we hope you see something you like and you will keep coming back. And if you are returning, we're always glad to have you with us. If you are in the shadows, either new or returning, please feel free to join us officially. All you have to do is press the little subscribe button on your right, I believe, and tap the little bell so you get notifications. And if you want to take part in the alongs and the camaraderie and all the neat stuff that happens, that's over at our home group, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and that is in the description box below the video. And I think it also is a link on the banner, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Now I only have 5 projects.
Okay, I have 7.
That means you first.
Okay, so I wanted to have something different, but I guess this tea got tired of being left aside. Stephanie had gifted us teas around last Christmas, I think it was, Tea Spot, and love all the teas. Finished Candy Cane Craze, or whatever it's called, and never got around to the Blood Orange, which I also love, Blood Orange. And I felt like having, because I went back and bought more Candy Cane Craze this year, but I haven't had a chance to have it because of the Adagio box. So I thought I'm going to have that today. I forgot that the color of the can for the Candy Cane Craze is not red or orange. It is kind of a green. Not even purpley like the Naughty and Nice.
Right.
It's green, and I never can remember that, so I picked up the wrong one today. This is the
I'm
Blood
surprised
Orange.
that you didn't register this was orange.
I just figured it was candy cane. You know, green I never think of green for candy cane. That doesn't fit to me. So this is the Blood Orange Smoothie, and it's a little different from the one that I get from Plum Deluxe. I had to let it sit for the sugar to mix a little better because it was very tart. And this one, because I thought it was candy cane, it has actually 3 or 4 little white chocolate pieces that I put in it. And honestly, it doesn't taste bad. It's actually very good. But my taste buds are still mad at me right now.
Because this isn't what you wanted. For the record, I offered to put it in a thermos type thingy and save it later for me because I'm always up for more tea.
I just want to taste it.
Okay, let me put this down. But she steadfastly refused.
I don't see the need for her
She's
to
like,
have to...
no.
No.
It's all tragical.
Tragical, my afterburners.
Hey, they use tragical instead of tragic when you're reading Little Women.
Well, that's Amy.
Meg uses it too.
Oh, does she?
This isn't as sweet as I thought it would be.
No, it's a very tart tea.
I can barely taste. Now, granted, I just had this after Jam Thumbprint,
Yeah.
which might be why I'm not getting much taste out of it. Speaking of which, and my all I want.
Oh, I didn't say my mug. This is my owl mug that Chronically Crocheting, whose Crystal had made for me. I love it.
And then this is my all I want to do is hug all the bunnies mug. And in this one, I'll put this where you can taste it in a second. Is this is a fandom blend from Adagio. This is Jam Thumbprint. There's another one called Jam Thumbprint Cookie, not the same one. This is Jam Thumbprint. This one is quite good. She did a good job of blending the flavors so it does taste like jam. And it's what, to my best of my recollection, this is what jam thumbprint tastes like. It's been a very long time since I've had a jam thumbprint, and now I can't have them.
It's pretty close. It's very sweet.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you think about it, the jam.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
Well, that's why I think I didn't taste the orange one very well.
That is very sweet, and I think what I'm tasting under the jam is the cookie.
There is something underneath
the vanilla or something. Is there vanilla in that?
Hang on, wrong notebook. This one.
It tastes
Let me go and confer with my tea tasting notebook.
Yes, I have mine over here. I haven't started it yet.
Let's see. Berry blues, accented with cherry, orange peel, and strawberry. Yes, there is vanilla.
Okay.
Vanilla and hazelnuts.
Yep, that's what it is.
Black tea.
It tastes like the base cookie.
And the funny thing is, it does, all the flavors do a really good job at masking that black tea flavor. Like, I think you could stand this tea.
I would pick that one up.
Yeah.
I would pick that one up. Yeah.
And I always forget how much I like this one. And when I saw it in there, I was like, oh, this will be a good, because the tea I had this morning was caramel. Or as someone in the comments said, caramel. Because they're from caramel.
Caramel, yes.
So, yes, I didn't care for caramel this morning. I'd taken it after my meds, and RA tends to be heavy on the black tea taste. And it's more bitter than the black teas I generally like. Plus, the meds always leave bad taste in my mouth, so it really didn't it didn't work for me. And I saw my oral review and I didn't care. I liked it okay last time too.
I only had a sip, and I have to admit that the black tea was too strong, but it did have a very nice...
Well, the caramel did come through later.
It came through at the end, and that's what stayed in my mouth, even when we were doing the stuff that we were doing. I think it might be okay with some almond milk.
I think it would be too. Because I also didn't care for reindeer fuel by itself, but I love it as a maple
latte.
Maple latte. It's actually my preferred maple latte, and I'm going to be super sad when I can't get it anymore.
I use a lot of my rooibos.
Rooibos. It's not quite like I drink the rooibos in it, and I'll finish off what I have, but the taste doesn't come through the maple for me.
Well, I use a maple rooibos and a vanilla rooibos. And
I've used the vanilla rooibos, but honestly, I feel like I'm just drinking maple milk. Maybe because I don't have a really good sense of taste and smell. I really need something to punch through that.
Right.
And the reindeer, I keep wanting to call it reindeer games. Reindeer fuel does that.
You have to see what Daddy sent you regarding Rudolph.
I saw that.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Anyway, okay. All right. Before we get into everything,
I do taste the cookie underneath now.
Before we get into everything, we're going to go ahead and do the prizes. Okay, all of our 2021 alongs are finished. We've started the new ones, and we'll go into those later. But just in an effort to not make you wait, we're going to go ahead and do the prizes now. So, for the PHN Christmas All Year Long Cowl 2021, okay, we have 2 prizes plus the yearly prize, okay. The first prize is, let's see, let me find it here, is this. It's 2 skeins of this Colorado yarns. It's non-superwash yarn. And it doesn't have a color, but it's pink. Looks like blush, maybe.
It doesn't have a colorway name. It definitely has a color.
Yeah, and then the bag that was donated by Laura Concert. Okay. So this is prize, and for the first winner, and this goes to I Know Who You Are. Okay, so I Know Who You Are. I need your name, your address, and the fact that you won this prize for the Christmas All Year Long. So I need to know what along you won it for, what you won, okay, and your name and address, okay? So just,
matchy.
PM me. So yes, it matches very nicely. It's a very nice prize. 2 donators made this possible. Thank you very much. I Know Who You Are.
I always get confused because I'm like, is donators or donors?
Both.
Yeah.
You sidetracked me and I don't remember what I was going to say. Okay, anyway.
Are you talking about the next prize, perhaps?
I want to say this. I Know Who You Are.
Yeah.
Is that one. Okay, now, the second prize for the 4th quarter for the Cowl, for the PHN Christmas Cowl, excuse me, is this lovely skein of No Makers. It's a fingering sock sparkle base, and it's candy cane. And this one goes to Steph. Okay, so Steph, name, address, the fact that you won this particular skein of yarn for the Christmas Cowl Lao. Okay. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later.
Hang on, let me write down for you.
Yep. I got what you were saying.
Okay, you did?
Now I got
right.
it. Yeah. Okay. So this one goes out to Steph. Steph, name, address, and what you won for the Christmas all year long Cowl Lao. Now, I know I said that there was a different prize. We had a major prize, so to speak, major in quotes, a bigger prize. That's what I want to say it. For the full year, okay? And we put Emma's prize to this year, okay? Because we had a wonderful donation from Laura Concert. It's before she ends up losing it or get rid of it or something. She's going to send it to us, and if we don't have something to do with it, it might get used. So
Oops.
this is, she donated this year's advent calendar set, okay? So one of her advent calendar sets this year, okay? So this,
Oh, is that the Toy Story one?
I think so.
Okay, because we had noticed that the Buzz was really nice.
So this one is going to Renna, okay? So Renna, yes, I know Renna, Steph, even I know who you are. I probably have your addresses somewhere. Don't trust me to be able to find it.
Oh, I know you have their addresses somewhere because...
Please send me your name, your address, and what you won, Renna. You won the big prize for the Christmas all year. Oh, no, Renna. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
Renna, you contact Laura.
Yes.
Laura's going to mail yours, okay? So congratulations, Renna, for that one. You contact Laura, tell her you won the Christmas all year long, the advent calendar, and she'll send it to you, okay? I know who you are, and Steph, you contact me, okay? Now, that takes care of the Christmas all year long.
I'm coloring in my stars.
Are you finished?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Look, I did more coloring.
Okay.
I'm a baby.
I'm trying to
Love you.
to do something here.
I love you.
Okay. Now the toy along. Okay, this
She's ignoring me.
this is a this is a Laura Concert sponsored toy along. Okay. She donated some more yarn. Beautiful yarn.
Well, Toy Along was always one of her favorites. Has
Well,
always been one of her favorites.
No, her favorites are the autism awareness and the
that's
Taurus
true.
versus hair.
That's true.
But she
But I
doesn't-
mean, but prior to Taurus versus Hair existing.
yeah, anyway, she donated these. I'm sorry for the crinkling.
Ooh, that is crinkly.
I noticed this last week when I was showing these, and I apologize. This is very loud paper.
Yeah, that's louder than the normal paper.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'm having a sensory day.
No.
Maybe that's what
It's
it is.
loud. It's loud. I apologize, especially if you have earbuds, because I noticed it when I was listening to it. I could hear it over everything. in the
Okay,
shower.
because I thought maybe it was just me having a sensory day because of snow.
Okay, the first prize for the Toy Along 2021 is Lollipop Girl Yarn Sock Set. So this is the one with the red heels and toes. This one goes to Jodidiah. Okay, so Jody, you won for the Toy
Yay,
Along,
Jody.
the sock set. So that's the one with the red and the nice colors. I Put a Spell on You and Red Vines. Okay, so this is Jodidiah. All right, contact me with what you won and with all your pertinent information.
You probably shouldn't speak over the bag because the bag will overwhelm you.
I didn't. This one is Shooting Stars, and this one goes to Looney Hiker. Pat, don't tell me I have your address because you're not in your normal address right now anyway, so please contact me with your address so we can get this out to you. Congratulations to both winners for this. Pat, you have Shooting Stars. This is a fingering sock, 463 yards, and beautiful, beautiful colors. Both of them are gorgeous.
They actually look right in her wheelhouse too.
Yeah, she seems to like purple. Now,
Well, also, I think she does a fair amount of gray too with colors.
Now, cover your ears, and if you have your earbuds, take them out. I'm going to fold this over. Okay. All right. Now, the last one. Oh, is that it? I thought we had one more. Christmas? Out with the old.
Did you do?
I didn't do Out with the Old. Okay. Out with the Old. that's the last one, is the Out with the Old. And we have 2 prizes for this one. Out with the Old Cowl 2021. We have this skein of purple Madeline Tosh.
Pretty.
Very pretty yarn. This one is...
They always do their purple so well.
Tosh Vintage. This is 200 yards, so I think this is a worsted. Okay. I think this is a worsted. Isn't that gorgeous? And this goes... Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, your screen name. Sensidai?
Oh, yay.
So you won this one. I need your name, your address, and what you won. Okay. And then the orange and pink West Yorkshire Spinners goes to I Know Who You Are.
Nice.
Okay, so I Know Who You Are.
I think we said that this was like tropical sunset or something.
Something like that. So this...
Tequila Sun.
This one, so I Know Who You Are. You have 2 things to tell me you won. I think. Let me see here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She won something
Yes.
previously.
So, you just let me know what you won.
She won the pink yarn with Laura's bag.
Yeah. So, all I need from you guys is what you won. Everybody except Renna, contact me with what you won and for what along, and I'll get it out to you. Renna, contact Laura Concert with your pertinent information. Say you won her Advent set for the along, okay?
I'm going to have to pick up a bigger bag of this.
Yeah, that's really good. I might have to get some of that as well.
It's really good.
Okay, so... Now,
I like it even better since I did it at the 190. And as it matures, it gets even better.
Okay. Now, we do have new alongs to do this year. First of all, our full year along, and I will go through and read these rules for the first one, and then I would just kind of alter them for the one that follows, or any others that follow. This is the PHN Tea and Tails Cowl 2022. This one we've done twice. People really seem to love it, so we're back for a 3rd go at this. This one runs from January 1st, so we just started, through midnight going into January 1st of next year. Okay, so it's a full year. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. And when we say midnight, we mean Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so it runs from January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along and must reflect the theme of tea and or tails.
And I just want to specify, because you have a tendency of saying midnight on December 31st. It's not midnight on December 31st. It's midnight on January 1st.
I always say midnight going into.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because that can confuse people.
Yeah. Let's see, where was I? Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along and must reflect the theme of tea and or tales. We're talking about complete stories, even if they're children's books. Certain plays like Macbeth or something like that. But not poetry, except maybe like an epic poem or something.
Like Beowulf?
Maybe Beowulf or something like that, Not the road less traveled. Okay, that's
right. No, it has to have a true story.
Yeah, it has to have a beginning, middle, and end.
Would something like The Raven count?
I'd have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, because that one, I don't believe it's actually a true story.
I mean, you've got narrative poetry.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have a beginning, middle, and end. Okay, and so we're talking about graphic novels, regular novels, children's books that have a full story to them. I know we had originally said they had to have chapters, but I think something like Ping or what's his name, Mike Mulligan and Marianne, they have complete stories.
I have no idea what
Corduroy.
Oh, okay, Corduroy. Mm-hmm.
Velveteen Rabbits. They all have stories. So those, yes, they can, anything that has a complete story, but it has to be fiction. We're not talking about nonfiction.
Right.
Okay, we're talking about stories.
But historical
fiction is fine. Okay, like I just finished reading. I think it was 2 years ago. I read the one about Pilate's wife.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Claudia.
And I was thinking of The Robe.
The Robe. Mm-hmm. So those are historical fiction. Those
I don't
fine.
personally tend to read a lot of historical fiction.
I don't either, but
because I like to know what's real and what's not.
Yeah, but anyway, so if you have any questions, you can just ask us. Okay. Let's see here. if you can make a case for it, we'll accept it.
Mm-hmm.
1 WIP per project per week. The FO whenever it's completed. We will have prizes. I just haven't decided yet. I have to go through our stash of prizes that people are so generous with and figure out what we're doing, for that. For those who are new to the podcast and new to crafting, if there is anybody out there who's watching this, when we say a WIP, we mean a work in progress. When we say an FO, we mean a finished object. Sometimes I'll say a PhD, which is a project half done.
I never say that.
I have, because I don't like the other one.
I don't say the other one either.
And I rarely say that, but every once in a while I will. Mm-hmm. So that's just that. Featured patterns and yarns are as follows. And for us, for the most part, anything that's in my yarn or my one pattern, so that's Lady Fernicle Creations. Talia's Patterns, which is Franciscan Gypsy Designs. Laura Concert's yarn, which is Lollipop Girl Yarns, and her patterns, which I think is Laura Concert Designs. Those are our standard, featured patterns and featured yarns, okay? All the time, across the board, as long as it fits the theme. We have also added for this along Joanna Johnson and Mom Cook patterns. And, let's see here. Yeah, I think that's it, as long as it's related to the theme of tea and tails, okay? Mom Cook is a loom knit pattern designer, and Joanna Johnson is a knitter. Do we have KF Jones? Does she have anything with story related? She does.
Oh, she does. She has
KF
all
Jones.
sorts of tea and tail type
KF Jones. I forgot to put her. KF Jones Bakery Bears.
Oh my gosh, she has so many stories.
She has a lot of story related patterns.
Potter. She has Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. So
she does not simply have a Potter obsession.
No, we have. She does Boxcar Children.
Not Boxcar Children. The
Railway
Children.
Railway Children. Yeah. Poirot. So she's got KF Jones, Joanna Johnson, and Mom Cook. Anything that's related to tea and tails. Okay. If you do a featured pattern or a featured yarn in a finished object, you get 2 chances at a prize. If you use a featured pattern and a featured yarn in an FO, it's 2 chances at a prize. 3 chances at a prize. 3 chances at a prize. You are responsible for your own multiple postings. If this has been confusing because of interruptions or because of my just wandering, it's in the thread. And you can also contact us. All right?
Yeah, if you're taking part in these anyway, you have to be able to go to thread. Yeah. Because, that's the only way to do so.
Yep. And so the hashtag is hashtag PHNTandTales 2022 on Instagram. Brenna was funny. On one of these things, I posted one of the alongs, and she highlighted where I missed a year. It said 2018 to 2022. And she said, "Am I getting a late start?" and I said, "Oh, I said thank you for mentioning it. I thought I got on well." And she said something about she was feeling ornery, and to quote me, okay, to quote you, but me, you can take the hit. So I said, yeah, I can take the hit. I think I can take the hit. So yes, Rena, we love you very much. Okay, she's our very hardworking, one of our very hardworking moderators.
Yeah, especially since I know I've been meaning to keep up a lot better than I have been, but energy has actually been really bad. So I'm gonna lower the bar of what I had been. I was trying to tell myself I had to comment on all the pictures. I can't do it. I will try to heart all the pictures and then comment as I can. Because I was telling myself I had to comment on everything, I stopped looking at anything because I got overwhelmed with the fatigue and everything. So. And
I have, since the new year, I've been trying to pop in at least once or twice a day and at least answer a couple of things because I love the group and I would love to be more active, but I've been having difficulty finding time, and I'm going to try to at least be more active. Now, we do have one prize that was donated to us already for this along from Looney Hiker. That's Pat. She has donated a copy of her Graveyard Field socks as a prize. I haven't yet seen them, but I'm sure they're gorgeous. She sent a link to me. The one I have here wasn't working, so she sent me another link to Ravelry and Lovecraft. So you can just go. I guess you can just go there and search it out, either Ravelry or Lovecraft. It's called the Graveyard Field Socks, and she's donating a copy of that. So thank you very much. And there will be other prizes. I just haven't taken a look yet. The PHN Ready, Set, Go, Cowl, Lao. And this, like I said, basically the rules are the same, except this one there's no real theme except that you have to have new starts. These all have to be things that are started January 1st or later. No whips are allowed in this along. Everything has to be started. It could be 12:01 a.m. January 1st. Okay? As long as it's started in 2022, this is the along for you. Okay? Now, we have the same featured pattern, basic feature patterns and featured yarns. My Things, Taya's Things, and Laura Concerts. Okay? And the interesting thing about this along, for people who have been with us for a while, I think this is our third or fourth one of this, is that the month of January, frogs count. So what you need to have in the post for the frog to count is you have to have a picture of the finished object, not the finished object, the project, and then next to it in the same post, you have to have a picture of it frogged. So you have two photos in the post. One of the whip, and then next to it or under it, the ripped out project.
Right, so there's, some sort of proof that it was indeed in a project.
Yes, and that you didn't rip it out like 2 years ago or something. Okay. Now, let's see here. Oh, it runs from January 1st through March 31st of this year, okay? Midnight, going into April. Let's see here. For both alongs, 50 yards. If a project is 50 yards or less, please post it with another project that is 50 yards or more, okay? And we already talked about the featured yarns and patterns. And the hashtag is hashtag PHN Ready Set Go 2022 on Instagram. All right, and we will have prizes. Just haven't figured them out yet because haven't been figured them out. Okay.
Alrighty, so you have more projects than I.
Okay.
You to go twice.
Twice or twice once?
Just twice once, I think, because you're 7 to my 5.
Yep. Okay. All right, in my Ploverbird pink and purple bag, Teapot's bag, is my Comfy Cozy Shawl project from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. I did a little bit of work on this, mostly on the podcast, though. I might have done some of this. No, I think I took the other one with me.
Yeah, I just remembered it seems an eon ago, but we have not been on since we went to Maryland.
Yeah. Okay, let me see here. So yeah, I did a little bit. This one is going very, very slowly because I work on it on the podcast, but I don't get a chance to really work on it afterward. I'm trying to find my loop.
You usually have it marked.
Yeah. I just don't know where I marked it at.
You know it's on there somewhere.
There it is. The thing is that my loop is blue. I mean, my marker is blue, so it kind of blends into the thing here. I mean, this is big size. I mean, it's already a good size. I could theoretically stop.
Yeah, but you don't want to.
But I don't want to. So I'm not gonna. And this is mostly Miss Babs. I think there might be some Malabrigo in here, but for the most part, this is Miss Babs yarn because she has such nice big skeins.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, okay, I'll use that.
And there were several skeins you didn't know what to do with, right?
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of my Miss Babs and a lot of the skeins of yarn that I didn't know what I was going to do with have gone into these shawls.
Right, because for some reason they always seem to work out.
Yeah, the shawls and the Surabels where they
Right.
tend to go. So, and yeah, so that's all I really have to say about this. You've seen it a million times, and it's growing.
You have one more.
Oh, I do. Okay, let me just do this stitch here. I forgot that I had to go twice. Let me just... There. Okay. Move these prizes out of the way. Okay. my next one is in my Knit for Brains Owl teapot bag. It was given to me at a Laura concert. It's such a nice little bag. Isn't it cute? And it's got a lot more room than you think.
Right, it doesn't look like you'd have a whole lot, but
And
some of these bags are bigger on the inside.
bigger on the inside. This is my Arwen's Hooded Cowl project from the Thorns Hooded Cowl pattern. And this is Miss Babs in the slate colorway.
Did you bring that with you when you were traveling? Because that's a good travel project.
I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I did. I can't remember. I don't remember. But anyway, I did a lot of work, but most of it was in the car, believe it or not.
Car where?
Going to Merrill. Well,
You just said that you weren't sure.
no, I'm saying what I worked on.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if I took this or not. I may have taken it and not worked on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's this. Not a whole lot to say about this.
Other than the fact that it's pretty.
It is pretty. I'm looking forward to finishing it. I have to see what I can frog though.
Do you think you're gonna do the big voluminous hood?
Maybe.
Because that's what the red one looks like. The red one has voluminous hood, and the green, bluey one in Berlin has the normal hood.
I think I had intended to do it, but part of it depends on how much yarn I have.
Well, Miss Babs usually has enough of the voluminous.
Mhm.
And you haven't used that skein, correct?
No, haven't used this one.
Okay. There, I stalled enough to get to the end of my needle, which is all the real reason I was stalling. Okay, so in my Silver Shed USA Kitties in the News bag, well, first let Mom choose a story. And choose a story, any story. This one here? Okay. Just let me open my show notes and then I'll read the story. Color Point gives birth to Great Dane. And this is in the late edition of the Chronicle. The Evening Cat Call. So, Color Point gives birth to Great Dane. News that shook the medical community was released early this morning. Chelsea Color Point, weighing in at 3 pounds, gave birth to a son, 6-pound George Great Dane. Chelsea explained that it was not a difficult pregnancy, I don't know how that would work, and that she was positively glowing the entire time. Her only disappointment was that she was hoping for a large litter with the size of that belly. Well, Chelsea, you can't get much larger than a Great Dane. The suspected father, Cheesy Danish, was unavailable for comment.
Wow. Wow.
So, yes, she's sitting on top of son. Right there. On top of his head. Not quite sure how she carried quite a big dog, but okay.
Yep. Unless he was kind of, when he was moving around, carrying her.
So, in that bag is my Like a Shining Waters project. It's Anne Sweater from Green Gables Knits by Joanna Johnson. And slowly but
Ooh, look at
surely, the sleeve continues to grow.
Very nice.
And I keep telling myself I just have to go so much farther, and then I have a full sweater.
Yay.
Because after the sleeve, it really is just the finishing work. I mean, there's also going to be a fair amount of ends to weave in. But, yeah, I do look forward to actually owning this after working on it for such a while. But, yeah. Everything's wanting to stick to my alpaca. There we go. That's all I had to say about that. Your turn.
All right, let me find my thing that I put on here so I don't lose my stitches. There and there. Whoops. It's a bunny.
He is.
And put this away and get on to the next project. Okay, my next project is in my Silver Shed USA Green Star Wars bag. This is the Mad Hatter Cowl project from the Surabel pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. Where's my bag? There it is. Okay. I think anybody who's been with us for any length of time could probably recite all the details about this pattern, because I rarely have a time when I don't have this on the hook. I did a little bit of work on this, I think, during the car trip. I don't know. But anyway, it's grown a little bit. I wish it showed up better on the screen so I could see
remember,
what it
the
looks
more
like.
accurate ones.
Yeah, it's just...
I haven't had a chance to fix the other one.
No, it's not a big problem. It's just discombobulating. Okay. So yeah, this is Miss Babs Yowza, and it's in the Mad Hatter colorway, hence the very creative name. Now this would be eligible for Tea and Tails, because Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. So, yeah. It could be the name of the yarn, the name of the pattern, name of the project.
To make it work.
Make it work. Yep. Your turn.
Okay, so let me just get my stitch over. There we go. In my Adelaide Cottage bunny bag from Laura Concert. So cute.
It is cute. And I better put this pattern back in the bag or I'll forget which bag it goes in.
And here are the Bullfinch Socks. The pattern is Jemima by K.F. Jones. And I'm about an inch away from being able to start the toe. Maybe a little bit more than that.
It's another Tea and Tail.
Yes. So this was the first yarn that I fell in love with of the West Yorkshire Spinners.
That's really pretty.
It is really pretty. So I've had this particular skein waiting for a while. There we go. Stay. Okay. But yeah, that's all I really show about that, because no finished other sock to show you.
Slacker.
Yeah, really, right?
So here, let me just finish the stitch and I will get on to the next project. Okay. There we go. If you hear noise in the background, Davina's using the... We have a... I think I mentioned this once before. Alpaca. She's using a battery-operated kind of a...
It makes me think of an electric toothbrush.
But it's not a toothbrush. It's a...
It's a lot bigger.
It's a lot bigger, and you can use it on the floor, on the bathroom walls, and tub and stuff like that. She's using that right now. So if you hear that, I apologize.
I wish we'd had that back when I was still physically capable of doing the bathroom.
Yeah, it helps me a lot because my shoulders and stuff. It saves my shoulders and my arms and stuff. Okay, let me put this back.
It seems like you never scrub hard enough to get anything off.
I know, and that thing really helps. Cause I don't,
Well, it doesn't get tired.
It's loud, but okay. My next project is... here's my... Whoops. No. Okay. My next project is in my Silver Shed USA blue bag with PHN faces, and this is my husband's artwork. And this is the one I worked on.
Blue faces again?
No.
Okay.
I said blue bag with faces.
Okay.
This is the other scrap shawl pattern that I'm using. The project is by special request. It's Talia's, and this is the one I worked on in the car almost the whole trip because I didn't have to read anything.
It's looking pretty.
It is. Let me just... Okay, so see, I've added...
Ooh.
You can see that I've added the blue on the bottom, and I've done quite a bit of... Can you see? It's quite a large shawl already.
It is.
But I have a little bit more to do. When I finish this, I'm going to put on the rest of the Mad Tosh, and then I'll see what I do from there. And then I give Talia whatever's left because it's all her yarn. Let me just...
Yeah, I basically grabbed a bunch of yarn and said, choose what you think works together.
Yeah, I probably should give you back already this one because I'm probably not going to put this one in. I don't think it will work.
Okay.
Do you? I mean, seriously.
You're the one who has better judgment with this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, it pulls in this and this.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how it works with this.
Right.
So, And I don't know if we need it.
Right. If you don't feel like you need it, then...
If I do find out that I need it, I'll ask you. Just keep it where you can find it. But yeah, so this is all Miss Babs except for the Madeline Tosh.
Actually, this is putting it back because I'm not going to remember where I put it.
Alright, just...
Because if I just put it back with all my other yarn, I'll be like, what yarn?
Right. Okay.
It doesn't hurt for it to sit in the back.
And this is really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
What color is this? Looks like Nightwing, but...
It does look like Nightwing, but I don't think that's what it is.
Cumulus. It's a cloud. It is a cloud.
It's really Nightwing, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't know if, not Anne, Jenny is familiar with Nightwing. So, but yeah, so this is growing really, really by leaps and bounds because I actually worked on this one for a couple hours at a sitting. So,
which is really great for it growing.
Yeah, because it's the big stitch. So, yeah, it's going to be, yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that one.
Okay.
Because it's the same pattern as what I already showed.
Right, exactly. In my Silver Shed USA Christmas ornament bag from Brittany is Christmassy. This is a Finish Line pattern by Laura Smoot. And first sock's been done for a while. Like so. And then...
Very pretty.
Thank you. Second sock. Slowly but surely makes progress.
Yay.
So, probably should focus on it near primarily, but you know.
Yeah.
It'll grow as it grows.
It'll be finished when it's finished.
I think I find as pretty as I think it is, I don't want too much, like, unless I'm doing cables or something, I don't want to think about whether or not I'm slipping a stitch or not.
Right.
I'd rather have, like, differences between rows than a lot of stuff, like, if it's supposed to be a mindless pattern. I don't want to think about when I have to slip stuff.
Is there a lot of slipping in it?
Oh, yeah. That's how this is made.
Oh, okay.
But not, like, it's not, like, all the time, but it's enough
well, yeah, it's got to grow. I mean...
Yeah. It's enough that I had to think about it.
I was looking at Daddy's scarf when he came home this morning.
Uh-huh.
The one that I did as a test knit for Anastasia. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a pain in the neck. It was slip stitch and change colors like every row, you know. It looks really nice. I mean, he saw it and he wanted it, so he got it. But,
right.
All right, let me just...
Oh, and this yarn is Stole Christmas by Dragonfly Fibers.
It's a pretty yarn.
It is.
Okay. I would love to... I had to play around and see how she did that without getting the brown that you get when you...
Yeah, she did a really good job. You're right, you don't see any... Now, she has white in there.
Yep.
But I think that's on purpose.
Well, it might be how she decided to not get the brown and the red to mix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All right.
I guess to do that, you would maybe tie your
you can get a resist.
Tighter.
Resist, yeah. Put a band or something around to have a resist.
I mean, it's not a huge ton of white in there, but there is noticeably some white.
Well, it could just be like the width of a garbage bag or something, or those ties that Laura showed us.
Oh, okay.
If it's that wide and you have it really tight, it's not going to be a very long. It's not going to be very much.
It took me a second to register that you meant the width of the garbage bag tie and not the width of the garbage bag.
Okay. I wasn't talking about a garbage bag.
Well, you said width of a garbage bag. I guess you hadn't finished yet to say ties. And I was like, width of a garbage bag.
All right, let me put this in here. Like so. There. Make sure I don't catch the yarn because I'm really good at doing that. There. Okay. Now, my next one. Is it your turn?
I just went.
Oh, that's right, you did. Did a little work on this. Actually, I think I did a little work on this in the car. Because the bag is easy to fit in my other bags. This is my Country Roads blanket project from the Jelly Roll pattern by K.F. Jones. And the bag was given to me by Brittany. It's my
Oh, good. I know you wanted to bring that with you.
country bag. I did a little bit, not a whole lot. I'm not quite ready to change colors yet, but I will. Maybe I'll do it when I go to my hair appointment, if I go to my hair appointment this week. The snow should be gone by then, I hope. And the ice. let's see here. I have to free the needles so I can show you. There we go.
Liberate the needles.
Yes, liberate the needles. So you can see that it is growing a little bit. There's definitely 3 colors here. And I'll be adding another color, maybe in a few rows. You know, not too much longer, because it's about that time to just get ready to put another color in.
Exciting.
And this is just different yarns. I've got everything from Madeline Tosh to Malabrigo to, you know, things I'm not really sure. I have to go back and look. You know, I probably have some of Heidi's yarn even in here, maybe.
Oh, probably.
I think if I still have any of her yarn, but because I used a bunch of it.
I'm pretty sure you still do have some.
I think I do. Oh, I can see that I have her autism awareness, her last one, for us, because she for the first couple of years that we did autism awareness, she was our autism awareness colorway person.
Yes.
She did it for us, and then she kind of gave me a shove, told me to do it myself, which I'm grateful for.
Sometimes you just need to jump in.
Yeah, she was very instrumental in getting me to fly the nest. So, yeah, that's this.
Okay, so I took Ready, Set, Go to heart.
I haven't done that yet.
And in my Silvershed USA books bag, these are the Peacock Socks. The pattern is Vanilla Latte Socks by Virginia Rose Jeans. I had initially thought this was one of the ones given to me by my surprise donor, but I think that was actually Kingfisher they gave me. I think this is one of the ones that you gave me.
With Peacock it is, yeah.
Yeah. And this is quite beautiful. It makes me happy to work on it.
Oh, it is pretty.
And it's got like 3 different types of blue in here. You got the really deep one, you have this middle blue, and you've got this really light bright blue, and then you've got the orangey yellow.
I have to go back and look at peacocks. I can't picture I guess the orange is maybe with the eyes
I think it's
somewhere?
the beak.
Or maybe. I didn't think it had an orange beak. I thought a black beak.
I don't think it has a black beak. So it's really pretty.
It is pretty.
And just a lot of, I haven't had a really bright Worcestershire spinners to work with because both Owl and Bullfinch are a little bit more on the masculine side. Even though Bullfinch has that bright, ready orange, or orangey red, it's mostly grays and blacks. Whereas there's no grays and blacks in this. This is very bright, very happy. The kind of thing you knit on if you want to uplift your mood. So, and it's a very slight pattern to it. Just enough to keep my interest going. Because one doesn't want too many socks that are exactly the same.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Your turn.
Let me finish my waffle a little bit so I can finish my row here.
I'm not sure if I'm weak enough to waffle.
Weak enough? Awake enough.
Awake enough. Sorry.
I thought, let me just... what I have next.
Well, you can waffle about the bag.
I don't have anything to say about the bag either. Okay, my next one is my last project. It's in my Emma bag, my Emma Owl bag. And love that bag. It was such a nice gift from Emma.
Yeah, you really needed an owl bag. You didn't have any.
Didn't have any owl bags. None at all. So, let me just... I'm saying that completely tongue-in-cheek for those of you who are new.
Yes, she has.
I have a lot of owl bags.
She just gets selective amnesia about it when she's presented with owl bags in person.
Yes.
It's like the owl bag fumes drive all sort of memories and logic from her brain.
All my owl bags. And I'm getting that way with my mugs, too. All my mugs. Owl mugs. I had to tell Davina no more owl mugs. Because, not that I can't use more owl mugs, I can always use more mugs, but the owl mugs she picks up are very difficult to drink from.
Right, so they tend to have that really stylized top where you have the tufts or whatever.
Yeah,
Because I don't know if they're actually ears, I think they're tufts.
I think they're, like, for lack of a better term, eyebrows even. I mean,
the eyebrows would be more here.
Well, but they come up like this. Some of them, it depends on the owl. In any event, I use hers mostly for decoration, or I put pens and things in it because it's harder to drink out of them. But like these kind,
Yeah.
just my husband's like, don't you have enough mugs? I'm like,
No.
Oh, no.
I think that he's given up on understanding why you and I need as many mugs as we do.
It makes me happy. I mean, it's not like I'm attached to him. If I have to, I can give him away. But why is my turtle on the floor?
I don't know. She ran away. I didn't even touch her.
PG.
I guess PG didn't want to be on the podcast.
Here's my owl mug. This is not a mug. This is a bag. This is a bag. This is a mug. This is an owl mug.
Let's run through that again for the class.
And
What's
this
the bag?
Is an owl bag. Bag. A minor. Bag.
B-A-G. Bag.
M-U-G.
Mug.
They have a G in common at the end.
And they're 3 letters.
And they hold things.
Yes.
Okay, but if I put T in here, I think I'd regret it. Never mind, we're silly. Okay. This is my Ice Baby blanket. And this one I don't think I worked on except on the podcast. Whoops.
It's a bunny.
It's a bunny. The T is almost gone.
I know, that's where I'm at too. At least I still have the leaves I can re-steep later.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to re-steep my breakfast one.
Yeah, you didn't care for that one. Okay.
But this one's really excellent.
You have to tell me exactly what you think about the one I gave you because I kind of
I haven't had a chance to try it.
I meant the other one. Unknown.
Yeah.
Not
I
right
don't
now.
think I wrote a review for it.
Well, you couldn't.
Right, because I didn't I didn't do the sugar, I didn't do my temperature. I mean, like a review of my notebook.
because I did it. Because it was I had already started it and I gave you my cup.
Yeah, so I had to do an independent one later in my notebook.
Yeah, what I did for that was I just said it was a gift and that you liked it. So
well, I meant by review with my notebook.
right,
So
well,
I knew for the future.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for the points. So this is the blanket and it's about 1 and maybe 1/4 of a skein of yarn in. And this is ice yarn. It comes from Turkey. It was a gift from Chronically Crocheting, who is the very lovely Crystal.
It looks like ice yarn.
Yes. If you don't watch her podcast, you might want to check her out. She's really fun. She's another one of the chronic illness community, but she has a wonderful attitude. She's very talented, and she's the sweetest person ever. So if you want a nice, gentle kind of podcast that's going to be uplifting and upbeat for the most part, never mean, ever.
No, never.
Then you might want to check her out. She's really sweet, and we love her very much. So this is the yarn. I think the color was Aegean something, or it's the yarn.
Like a GNC?
Yeah, I don't know. I might be completely off base, but let me see here.
I don't think we had a colorway name.
But I like it. I think it's pretty. I think
You could just call it a GNC because it doesn't have a colorway name. Doesn't that show up in Greek things?
Of blue, huh?
Doesn't it show like up in Greek legends or whatever, the Aegean?
The Aegean Sea? Well, the Aegean Sea is a real sea.
Yeah, I know that, but I feel like it shows up.
It might, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's that area, so.
Because my geography's not strong, never has been.
So this is...
Because geography's really a lot of memorization. I don't do well with memorization.
I always... When your grandpa used to talk... Because we did geography, but not like my parents and older, where they had to know, like rivers and in the... I mean, I said, I know it's in Europe,
Right.
or whatever, but, it's...
So the breakup of the geography teaching kind of started with your generation?
I think so. They started, not focusing quite as much. I learned a lot of, just for the fact that I was a military brat, I learned a lot more geography by osmosis.
You would have thought that would have become more important with how easy travel is now.
Right.
You would think that there would be more of an emphasis on geography in school. And I remember studying geography. It just... Actually, I think that's why we got the board game Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, but that would have been young. I'm talking about older. Like one of the things that helped me, besides being a military brat, one of my, actually a couple of my high school classes, I think it was, at least one of them, did war games with the maps.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I'm just thinking, like, do you want to play a game?
And we had to, so you kind of had an idea. That kind of gave me a rough idea, and then we moved to Europe, and so I got even more of an idea. But everything changes so much
Right.
that
Territories change hands, I guess, especially with the smaller countries.
well, even just the fact that when I was growing up, Yugoslavia, I think it was Yugoslavia, and Czechoslovakia, I think are now both. I have to check. I know at least one of them, Yugoslavia, is broken up. It wasn't before, so it's like two countries instead of one.
Okay.
And so that happened when we were stationed in Germany, and the wall came down. The Berlin Wall came down when we were in Germany. I mean, it was a lot of historical things, and things just changed.
Right.
And I think I'd be hard pressed to be able to do any kind of accurate geography right now. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is ice yarn, and it was gifted to me by Crystal, who is chronically crocheting, and it will probably go to the pregnancy center, or it might go to someone in our parish who is having a baby.
Indeed.
I wonder if that lady, I saw her a couple of days after Christmas. She was due at Christmas, and I think it was a couple of days after Christmas. She was still walking around.
She just wants the baby to come out.
Yes, come out. Don't play hide and seek.
So my last project is another attempt to participate in
Prosecco.
yes. I think it's just emptying out something out.
Yeah.
Okay, this in my little skein, the big wool velveteen rabbit bag are the I forgot to change the name on this. The peacock socks. Not the peacock socks, sorry. Rainbow socks. And the pattern is Vanilla Cream by K.F. Jones. This is a wild hair yarn. I'm pretty sure I lost the ball band a long time ago.
And she's very local to us. Local to the point that if I wanted to, I could walk to her.
Yeah. So.
But she's not really a store. She has like a shop, a workshop kind of thing. Isn't that pretty?
So it's a lot of mini stripes. I knew when I saw the skein that it really had to be a plain, non-patterned yarn because there's so much going on. Huh?
Not a plain non-patterned yarn, but a pattern.
Yeah, non-patterned. Yeah,
yarn.
Yeah, sock pattern, because the yarn has so much going on.
That's really.
And I've decided I grabbed two of Mom's mini skeins for heels and toes. So my current plan is to have purple for heels, green for toes. If I have enough, I'll do purple for heels, green for toes on one, and then green for heel, purple for toes on the other. Don't know
fun.
don't know the name of the colorways, but they go nicely.
Well, we have a similar color palette.
You
in a lot
do,
of ways.
and I know that yours should hold up to being socks pretty well, like in those dangerous areas. And this one really does need another color to break it up if you're doing heels and toes, because there's so much going on in the main sock. So
busy.
I think that this will be he's a bunny. Quite fun, thank you. And these little things that you got me for color work are really nice for my mini skeins. You got them from Knit Picks, I think.
When did I get that?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure you got it for me. Maybe I got it for myself, but
I'm pretty sure I did. I just don't remember when I did.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've used this multiple times for when I'm doing color work with socks. And it's really nice because then you don't have all these little balls rolling around and getting tangled with each other. And then when you want to just sort of make it so that it stops unwinding mostly, you flip the thing downward and then flip it up when you want to use it.
Very cool.
So it's a very nice design, simple design, but very effective.
Very nice.
And now my skeins aren't gonna, tangle with each other.
Yay.
Nothing's worse than getting a tangle of 3 different yarns in your bag.
Okay, let's see. All right, I'm done with
projects too.
I haven't started my needle adjacent yet because I haven't had time.
I haven't FO'd you.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, as you might guess, because I had I have a new vanilla cream on the needles, I finished my other vanilla cream, the Eclipse socks.
Very pretty.
So very happy to have these done. Can't wait to wear them. They do fit. I've already put them on. and tried, well, one pair of them.
One pair of them?
Well, sorry, one of the socks. So yes, very happy with this. It's actually quite different than anything else I currently have.
It's very you, though.
Oh, yeah.
And that's wild hair, too, right?
Yes, I believe it is. Yes, I'm pretty sure this is. Oh, well, it's kind of funny that both of my ones in this pattern have been... But wild hair, while she has the bright colors, she's one of the few where I'll look at her wild ones and be like, I want that. Probably because a lot of her colors are very similar to yours. And I really like what she does with blacks and multicolors. And I personally don't want a lot of patterning with a black because it's going to hide.
You can't really see it.
And Kay's, and I usually have to get used to it. Kay has this one one toe that she likes, where there's some decreases at the bottom of the toe.
Is that the umbrella one?
Yes, and sometimes sensorily that bothers me. So I can either change out the toe to another one that she tends to use, or see if I get used to it, because it's just a bit of an odd toe for someone who has some sensory issues. She doesn't have it on this pair of socks. This is an older pair of socks. The what's this?
The Jemima?
No, Jemima's on the needles.
Okay.
All is Calm socks.
Right.
This was a patron pattern, and it was one of her. It was her earliest patron pattern, and that was when she was still doing a different kind of toe. And I actually really like doing the decrease. I like the shape of this toe. Just sometimes the decreases at the bottom when I'm having a sensory day bothers me because I already have where I feel like there's constantly something stuck to the bottom of this foot. I think it's a nerve issue where I will take off the sock and try to find whatever's like caught between my toes and there's nothing there. It's just my nervous system fooling me to think that there's something there.
Right.
So sometimes having decreases down there will like make me really think there's something there because I already have that problem with my foot. So I'm hoping that won't be the case, and I can because I actually enjoy this toe a lot more than the other ones, the way they work up. Okay. What else? Next, we generally go into. Is it session hand? No. Is it reading next? No, session hands becomes shop news and stuff. I don't have a lot for mine because I'm working on some stuff for the shop, a couple of rosaries, but all my sales are done. Nothing new design-wise yet.
All my sales are done. I have a special order that came through that I had to make sure I had all the recipes and all the bases, and I do, so I have to get started on that. And then which I'm excited about, and I'm going to get back onto the kits so I can get the yarn finished for that. And then I'm hoping I have another colorway in my head that I'm hoping I can at least introduce before the winter is over, before pulling it off and maybe keeping it till next fall or something. I'd like to keep it for the winter and then pull it off for a while if people like it, and so we'll see. I just have to figure out how I want to do one of the colors. I have to see if one of the colorways I have already will work with this.
I would suggest you might bring it out for Christmas in July because there are people like me who want to knit with Christmas things all year round.
I don't usually do Christmas in July, but maybe I will. So
Kay has an awesome way of folding socks when I was still able to do patron.
So I will probably just keep your eye open for the shop. This week is a little bit cut up because we have 2 hair appointments, and like today my husband's home, and I go into that a little bit later. But it's always a little harder to get things done, and I really have to get some business-oriented stuff done. Like I have to get SSI stuff for Davina done, and I have to get shop stuff for myself. Redo my business license and do my taxes type stuff, which is due like.
I guess my business licensing must be coming. Like I guess I started in the summer.
Did you?
So maybe mine's going to be coming in the summer.
I don't know, but so I have to get that stuff done. So the adult part of it has to come before the rest of it. So okay, so I'm hoping to dye yarn and do that kind of thing relatively soon.
I'm sorry, when you say the adult part of it, it's like, ooh, dirty. Because that's what, now when people say adult, something is adult, that's what people's minds go to.
I don't. I don't. It has to be in the proper context for me to go there. But anyway, I was going to say something else about what I had to do. Oh, Yeah, I should probably clean my house. Yeah, I probably should do that. Yeah.
Okay, I guess now that leads us on to stash enhancement.
I don't have any stash enhancements.
Well, everything that I have stash enhancement you gave to me.
I was supposed to have stash enhancements, but the weather, I think, kind of precluded it. So
This shawl here, it's Mom's old, she had made this, but she never really wore it because the weight of it wasn't really what she wanted. This is an acrylic, what's the name of the shawl? Scrap Shawl by Anastasia Tell. So I was like, well, don't get rid of it. I want it. So, I have it.
it's not quite as big as she would like, but it's big enough.
Right. And it gives me another blue option. Which the Dobbin Wood is crying in its drawer because, like, I will never be used now.
It will.
Yeah, well, it just that it has to fight
Share.
with this one.
Has to share.
Yeah, it has to compete because this one has blue in it, but it's actually got more of a green feel to. Oh, this one's yours.
This one's mine, but yours is the same.
Yeah, so it's got more of a green feel to it because so this one, when we're in bright blue, is fighting with the Dobbin Wood.
I might have to make another one that's blue for me
Mm-hmm.
in actual blues.
I mean, and you could even do the blues and silvers and everything again. Just make sure you use a non-acrylic.
Well, I might use my silver bells and Christmas, blue Christmas, and maybe fixing the snow and that kind of stuff.
Right. So, what I did receive, besides the other thing Mom gave me, is she discovered when she tasted this that she didn't care for Into the Unknown. It was a little bit too black tea for her. It's gingerbread caramel, pumpkin spice, inclusion sprinkles, and it has black tea, even though it doesn't say on here.
And that's, when it wasn't listed at the beginning, I thought, okay, maybe it won't be strong.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I see the sprinkles.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a fun tea to look at. And I love ginger teas, but it was too much black tea.
And I enjoyed this one.
And something I do want to say in its defense was when I steeped it at a lower temperature, the astringency went way down, so it didn't bother my stomach.
Well, that's good.
very
It just
smooth.
wasn't a taste.
It just
that
wasn't
you
a taste I wanted.
And this one is I Say Poirot.
I haven't tasted that one yet.
Right, but she said, again, it had a lot of the same ingredients as the other tea, so she figured it probably isn't going to be one she likes, so I inherited this one too. This looks like the cover of the Unexpected Guest.
It might be, yeah.
Because I have that Kindle book, and it looks like that's the cover of Unexpected Guest, even though I haven't read that one. That one's actually a screenplay of Agatha Christie's, and
It's the only one I couldn't get through. to
well, I
listen to.
haven't been able to get through Black Coffee, which is another one that's a screenplay of hers, but the same guy who made Unexpected Guest into a book also made Black Coffee into a book, and I can tell immediately when it's not Agatha Christie writing Poirot. As soon as he opened his mouth, I'm like, nope, doesn't sound right, and then I closed the book.
Well, this one, Poirot didn't even show up, and I was getting annoyed. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, no, I'm not listening to this. So I stopped. I don't.
Well, it's funny, when I first read The Hollow, I found the beginning very hard to get through because I disliked the one character so immensely, to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to be the one who dies. Just kill him already.
Get rid of him.
He's so obnoxious.
And decrease the surplus population.
But yeah, that was the only time where I'm just like, oh, she's got to die already. Just like, oh man, you feel horrible. You want this character to die.
Die, die, die.
But
Die, blanket of doom. You know what it's from?
yes,
Yes.
it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Actually, it's Avengers.
Is it?
Yeah, Drax says it to the...
Okay, but it is Drax.
Yeah, it's Drax, but he says it to the
The cloak.
the cloak, yeah.
Okay,
That's
I
just right.
forgot the reference, but I knew it was Drax because it sounded like
it's
Drax.
absolutely Drax, yeah. I mean, it couldn't be anybody else.
I just misplaced the movie, that's all.
Yeah.
As soon as you said, you gave me some reference points, I knew it was the cloak, Doctor Strange's cloak.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so those are, so leads us on to reading and stuff. Anything reading-wise for you?
Not really. I lost my notes because I'm going off my phone because my computer's being stupid and won't send me my Kindle
My
stuff.
Storygraph graphs now look really bare because I only have finished one book.
Oh, right.
So look, I have the most simple graph now because the they show 3 moods on here. It's like a pizza with 3, and it says lighthearted, emotional, and hopeful, and those are the categories they had for Little Women, which is the audiobook I finished.
Oh, I haven't put my audiobook in. I have finished audiobooks.
Yeah, they will take audiobooks. And if you can't find the one you have in there, it's very simple to create a new edition here. I think it's simpler than doing on Goodreads. And the pace they have down is medium. Look, I never have anything with a full thing like that. No page numbers because it's an audiobook. And I've only read fiction. And only audio. And only classics in there. So it's really funny. I've never seen it with just one book on it.
That's pretty funny.
So, but you were saying for your reading.
Yeah, basically I'm listening to Poirot's Christmas, and that's about it. I'm reading some religious books. I mean, I've got my Daily Prayer 2022, and I'm reading the Adventure Bible. Well, actually, I'm reading / listening, and telling you don't have to read with it. You can if you want to. Father Mike Schmidt, so if you just wanted to listen to it, it's set up for that. Mm-hmm. So that's doing the Bible in a year, and it takes about 20 minutes maybe. So I get on the machine, and part of my routine on the machine the treadmill is to listen to Father Mike Schmidt, and so that's the Bible. I got a lot of books. I just haven't started reading any of them yet.
And for me, well, first of all, I have a goal. Initially, I said at the onset of the year, my goal is to again hit 100 books. And I am including audiobooks, which previously I might not have, but since, with the fatigue and stuff, and sometimes my eyes ache, and also if I want to knit while I'm doing it for certain times, if I'm doing a more complex pattern, I want an audiobook. And also keeps me off of YouTube. I'm really trying to decrease my YouTube time. I've been wasting too much time there. So when I want to go on YouTube, I'm trying to stick in an audiobook instead. And I have enough stashed away that if I then save up some money as I go along, if I run out of audiobooks, eventually I could start adding them slowly. And I've got 2 sources. I've got Chirp and I've got Audible. Audible has probably more options. Chirp I like because it puts percentages and I don't have to do math to put my percentages in, although probably it's good for my brain to do the math. But I finished Little Women by Louisa May Alcott with Susie Bernays as a narrator, and this was a Chirp audiobook. I actually liked her as a reader. Otherwise, I am come here. Okay, continuing to read. It's been a while since I've read this. James Alberioni, A Marvel for Our Times. I try to read a little bit of this every day. I need to read some of this today.
I have to start my Giacardo.
About 70-something% through that. And, let me get back down. I lost my place. There we go. Then I am reading. There we go. Okay. I said to scroll past all the books I'm not reading. The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. I actually made a fair amount of progress on this time around.
I'm completely stalled on The Hobbit right now. Not because I don't like it, I just haven't.
Well, I went through a period that I stalled, but I forgot how quickly Two Towers moves, even in comparison to The Fellowship of the Ring. There's a lot of action in it, particularly, my favorite part does tend to be the front part. Even though I love Sam and Frodo's part is a little bit darker. And even though there's a lot going on here, I really love all the stuff with Rohan and all that. So there's a lot of good stuff in Two Towers. And Gimli, actually, I forgot how funny Gimli can be, but not in the ridiculous way they made him in the movies. Just something as simple as when Aragorn doesn't want to give up his sword, and he puts it at the door, because you have Legolas saying, "This bow came from Lothlorien. Be sure you take care of it." And then Aragorn's like, "This is Anduril, the sword that was once broken and was forged again. Don't you lose this thing, or your horrible things." And Gimli's like, "Well, if my axe has Anduril to keep it company, I'm sure it will be just fine here."
Anduril.
the name of the sword. I'm probably mispronouncing it.
Oh, sword. Yeah.
The sword that was once broken that was forged again.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like, I guess my axe would be okay with Andoril for company. So just a little like.
And if he gets a hold of it, and you've done something to it, off with your head.
Oh, if he is a. I always forget because the movie didn't do him quite as well as they could have, even though they had an excellent actor.
Oh, the actor was great.
It was just the way, because they leaned on him for comic relief, they overdid it.
I did like the way they handled him with Galadriel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did a good job with that in Galadriel. But I forgot what a good character Gimli is. That he is, he's got a sense of humor. He's very. In some ways, he brings everyone else down to earth sometimes. And he also is very super loyal, very common sense. Book Gimli is awesome. You have flashes of that in the movie, but Book Gimli is amazing. So yeah, I've been reading that one. Then also been reading pieces and parts of the tea book. Slowly but surely making it through there. They have recipes in here, including, apparently, there is... Oh, I probably should give you my blooming teas. They're usually white teas. Something called matcha.
Yeah, matcha. Mm-hmm.
They have recipes for, like, how to... They said in the back, I think there's recipes for how to make the, like, the macarons and stuff, I think. Because you can make things... I can't find my matcha page now. But you can make things with the matcha, and they have a basic recipe of how you make matcha, so, because you have to treat it a certain way. Ah, there it is. Yeah, they have matcha macarons, matcha latte, matcha cake, and then here is how to prepare matcha. And matcha is, like, they ground the tea to powder, and they say it's actually more healthy than a lot of teas because you're actually imbibing the whole tea, the leaves and everything. So you're getting everything from it, antioxidants, everything. And apparently in medieval Japan, samurai warriors drank matcha to prepare for battle. And they say it's like it's a green tea, so like right up my alley. But yeah, actually those macarons look really good. I hope they have a recipe for them, because in the back of the book is a recipe. Matcha-infused macarons make a sweet snack with a hint of herbaceous goodness.
Huh.
Oh, that's the one that had the recipe in the back. White chocolate matcha latte on page 159. So, I know that matcha is carried by Adagio. We might have to try their matcha latte at some point. So... because matcha's on my list of to-do. I have a whole matcha set on my wish list where it's like you've got the whisk, you've got like the bamboo scoop thing, you've got the special bowl that you mix it in. So it's like the whole shebang. But that's like one of those later eventually things. But it'd be really cool that to try that as a latte, because I like green teas. I know I like it. You tend to like most, if it's not too gunpowdery.
Right.
So that one, continuing to read the True Saint Nicholas.
I am reading that.
Why He Matters to Christmas. I have a love-hate relationship with this book. First part of the book, I really don't feel is well written. There's a lot of what feels like he's making up things as he goes. Kind of like, well, he thought this. I'm like, well, how do you know he thought this? It feels like you're writing fiction. Not until he hit the legends part do I really feel like I like the way he's writing it. The first part of the book, I really didn't like how he's writing it. I had to force myself to get through it, because it felt like he was making a lot of assumptions without any footnotes, with nothing to prove, and it felt like sometimes he's just throwing quotes in there because he's trying to do filler.
She's very critical.
Well, also, I tend to like to read historical books, and I felt like it was a very poorly written historical book in the historical section. When he gets into the legends, I feel like he improves like 50%. So, just my personal opinion, it's probably gonna be like a 3-star, 3.5 star to me.
I like it.
Just because I really don't like the way the first part of the book is written. Continuing to read Northanger Abbey. This is one of the Jane Austen gift box ones that Mom Dad got me. The print in this is amazing, so it's a great to bed book. And Jane Austen, of course, is always easy to read. Then I am listening to a book called The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat by Oliver Sacks with Jonathan Davis, MD. And it's an Audible audiobook. It's written by a neurologist. I think he's actually a neuropsychologist, something like that, where he deals with the effects of neurology on the psychology. And he's writing a book particularly about, there's always been more attention on left brain damage versus right brain damage. And the problem is that with left brain damage, the person usually knows there's something wrong. With right brain damage, it affects the person's perception of self and reality. So a lot of times they have no idea something's wrong. So the right brain has never been studied quite as much as the left brain with the damage. So it's a very interesting book. The guy gives a lot of case studies. It's not dry, honest. Final one is I'm listening to the audiobook When You Suffer, Biblical Keys for Hope and Understanding. And it's another Audible audiobook by Jeff Cavins. I happen to have both the Audible book and the Kindle, and they sync with each other. So if I'm reading the Kindle, it'll sync to the Audible. If I listen to the Audible, it'll sync to the Kindle. Which is convenient because I can get percentages off of that.
I'm just getting my show notes back
Yeah,
up.
but that's all she wrote.
That's all I have. I don't have anything.
Okay. News.
If you don't want to hear about personal stuff, or you just hear from the knitting, crocheting, and yarn dyeing, and goofiness and things like that, you might want to skedaddle, and we'll see you next week. Wish you all the best and all that. If not, if you want to stay for this, we'll give these people a chance to leave and get on with what they want to do. But before we do, we want to make sure we thank the people who took the time to comment.
Yes.
Either on YouTube or PHN. If I missed somebody, it's because I didn't see you. Okay. We have Courtney Cooks and more, Brittany, Paula, Renna, Lefty Crochets and Mirror Knits, Kara and Looney Hiker. Thank you very much for your comments. And for anyone I may have missed, thank you also. I just didn't see you before I put my show notes out. But if you don't want to hear life stuff, it's you don't have to. We'll see you next week, hopefully, for the knitting, crocheting, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll say goodbye to you now.
Yes.
Okay, so God bless and have a good day. I'll give them a minute here. Okay, I think they're probably gone.
Yes.
Okay, so
next up for you is update on Mom's stuff. Next up for you is the rheumatologist, correct?
Yeah, if they can ever get me in, it's not going to be close by, so that means my husband's going to have to take time off to drive me. I think she said it might be in Maryland or Northern Virginia. Mm-hmm. I visited the vampires this week, and I mean that with the greatest affection.
Even if they did blow your veins?
They did blow my veins. The first one I had to, I went in. The blood work is to rule out a bunch of things. And Ty looked at my blood work because I couldn't understand what they were saying because they didn't send me any. They just sent me results. They didn't send me what it meant. So, kind of my chart kind of thing. So I had Ty look at it. She said it looks fine. But they...
At least it was, had come back. There might be other things that are...
And so the first lady who tried to do my blood work was kind of a new person at sticking people, and she was very nervous about hurting me. She did twice in each arm, and then she said, I'm going to get the professionals to do it. So she got somebody from the lab. Now I usually have pretty good veins, although they do roll sometimes. Mm-hmm. And
that's what they did that day.
That's what they. Well, she said that she would stick it, and then it would just.
That happens a lot.
Like stop or whatever.
Well, it would be like you stick them and then go, bye, we're gone.
Yeah. So whatever reason, so she went and got the other lady, and the first time she put it in, she blew my vein. Mm-hmm. And I don't have the bruise so much anymore. You can't really see it. It's just right here.
Pretty much faded.
But she couldn't get it on my arm, so she ended up taking it from my wrist. And
I had seen one as soon as she came home that's right here, which is usually my preferred area. But I'm thinking that either they looked at it and it rolled, or not everyone likes it. I prefer it because it's not in the elbow, and when you have an IV, then they aren't having to have it beep every 5 seconds when they move their arm.
Well, and if I had been, the few times I'd been admitted, for having babies, or that one time I was admitted, they did do it here.
Yeah, that's a lot of times when people draw blood, they tend to go here because there tends to be your bigger veins up here. Then if people do IVs, they tend to do here. If they absolutely have to and can't find anywhere else, they'll do here.
Well, that's where she did it for me, and it hurt after. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's not a very comfortable place to be stuck.
I mean, it hurt afterward. Once you got it in, I was okay. I'm not the best person to get stuck. I don't like it, but if you just go in and get it, I'm okay as long as I have to look at it. But when you have to start digging around or pulling it out and putting it in, I had tried to talk to my husband. You know, I felt okay. I'm keeping him from the artwork and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll just go myself. I'm glad he was there because they had to do it so many times. I think they had 5 or 6 sticks before they finally got it. And so, you know, but everything, I haven't gotten the lime back yet, but my last one came back with traces that we took care of with
Moxicillin?
moxicillin or whatever it was they gave me. And so I don't foresee anything being an issue with that. You know, it was just traces. They weren't even sure. They just wanted to make sure that I got knocked out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we're just waiting on that, and then we're going to the rheumatologist to see why I have pain, where I have pain. With the weather, I've started having a little more again with the bottom of my feet. That doesn't have anything to do, apparently, with the podiatrist stuff. And just overall pain. So we're going to see what happens, you know. I mean, there's no real reason for some of the pain that I have, so we'll have to see what happens.
Right, well, I think there's something else going on. Not that I think it's a bad case of it necessarily, but just, it'd be nice to have peace of mind. Like, okay, it's X.
Well, my nurse practitioner is now finally on her own came to the idea that it could be fibromyalgia.
Which I've been saying since how long?
Yeah. I still don't think that's what it is, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, I'd rather it be that than something else that's degenerative.
Well, I think it might just simply be radiating from all the different injuries.
It doesn't make sense to radiate to the bottom of your feet, Mom. That's denial. And wishful thinking.
I'm fine.
Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional?
Yeah, that too. Okay. But that's all I have to say about my own stuff. Your stuff is the...
Well, I got my CT of the cervical spine, and those results are being sent to the neurosurgeon. I see him in February. I can't remember if it's before or after my hearing for disability, but hopefully it's fine. I've been having, you know, pretty consistent pain here, but I'm hoping it's just weather related or some other like fun new way that migraines are trying to show, or just post-surgical pain. But it's better to get it ruled out.
Yes.
Just because it could potentially, I'd have other instabilities, but above and below where I was fused. So it could, there's always the potential of needing another fusion or having to need the particular fusion, fixed. Because that was what happened with one girl.
Yeah,
who
that
was
girl
there.
was there, yeah.
You know, because it's hardware in there. Hardware can need fixing.
Not a thing Mom wants to deal with.
So I know the one girl said you might as well put a zipper in there. But I'm not sure how many times she got fused or if it was just, fixing.
Tweaking.
Yeah, tweaking all the other times.
Yeah, she did it a couple times.
So I'm sure I'll end up eventually feeling like I need a zipper as well. But
I hope not, because I really don't want to do this.
Well, no, I don't really either. It's expensive and...
it's expensive, it's nerve-wracking.
And it's very...
painful.
Yeah, it's very painful, and it takes quite a while to recover from.
And I'm not a nurse. Preston.
Although, to be quite honest, I had to walk you through doing my... Because of where it's at, I can't do my own wound care. But, yeah, so just waiting to hear back from that. And, yeah, just a lot of
stuff.
Fatigue and stuff. So, partially weather, partially just everything being everything. And
what it is,
yeah. It will help, that makes it sound bad, but it will, the notes the doctors are having to write based on my symptoms should stand me good stead, hopefully, for disability.
Yep. So prayers, good thoughts, wishes, and all that will be great. Appreciate is the word I was looking for.
So, they're expected.
Yes, expected. You will do.
You better pray.
No, that's not what we're saying. Anyway. Okay, so I think on that note, we're probably done.
Yeah, because we can hear himself moving around.
I think I'm not sure it's himself or if it's Davina, but I'm getting tired. So, because the last few days I've gotten to bed late and had to get up early. So, if you have a snow, we've had snow and ice, which is why my husband is home. So, today, we want to say be careful out there. And we want to wish you all a very, very good week full of knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. And we hope to see you here again next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 486, and that's a wrap.
Bye.